Hello, everyone. Welcome to the newest edition on the Couch with the Dogs Board, the first edition of this year. And today we have a very, very special guest. He is a recording artist, a professional entrepreneur, and he is soon to get his degree in mass communication from Savannah State University. I have Mr. Chris Smith, also known as 2Benjii.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for that wonderful greeting.
Yes, sir. You are very, very, very welcome. So, to be honest, I've been wanting to interview you for really the past 2.5 years.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Exactly. Especially after I've heard a lot of your music, or I've seen different pieces of the social media posts that you've made, specifically through Mr. Derek Brown, also known as King Syfe, also known as the Hip Hop Historian.
The Hip Hop Historian, King Syfe. Yes, sir, my brother.
Yes, sir. And then also through Smiley K, because if I remember correctly, I think she's mentioned you in the interview I did with her about 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, Smiley K is, we are definitely great friends. We've definitely done business together as well.
Definitely. So, I'm going to go ahead and start off what most people may actually want to know from you. So, what influenced you into becoming a hip hop artist in the first place?
So, my influence, it really started as a child. I was into rhyming and poetry and sounds and so forth like that ever since the elementary school. In fifth grade, fifth grade is when I actually made my first song. And I used to go around high schools as an elementary school fifth grader, performing at their award shows and so forth like that. I'll just be reciting poems. It wasn't my poems at that time, but I'll be just reciting different poems. And then they would have me mentoring other kids doing those poems and stuff as well. So it really started just at an early age, just seeing my brothers and so forth like that, and it just started blossoming as I grew older.
Excellent. So what would you say attracts you the most to songwriting?
The power to actually evoke emotion through words. Like it's the fact that I can write a few words on a piece of paper, and another person can write a few words on a piece of paper, right? It'll be the same words. But if it was just the words, and then me and that person were to read it, it would mean different things to us. So it's just like the power of words, you know, and the different perspectives that come with it. And that kind of just really sparked my interest.
Very well said. People underestimate the power and importance of writing a lot of times, and how they can be a good way to express yourself. So part of the reason why I asked you that is because, and I know most of the people listening have probably heard it too, the last big interview you did with Confession Box, which has essentially been one of the best interviews I've seen within the past few months.
I appreciate that so much. Yeah, Confession Box was amazing.
Yes, sir. Like, the amount of detail and depth you went into with certain things you said. So, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get to do that interview in the first place?
Okay, so it's so divine how it actually came about. That interview was actually recorded last year, earlier in the year. But when it comes to recording on those type of sets, they kind of release a little bit later because we got to go through clearance and so forth like that. I have a great friend of mine by the name of Kenya. She owns a production company by the name of K Cams. That network is actually owned by her family. So, they did quite a few interviews, and I ended up just showing support, so forth like that, because we're friends, so forth like that. They ended up reaching out to me through an email, while I was going through school in my semester. So I seen the email. I gave them the information that was needed. They ended up reviewing my story, so forth like that, and we went through a process of different interviews, group interviews. Like, it was like the whole team that was on Zoom calls with me, And they basically just, just got to know me a little bit better. We spoke about the set, different things that was needed for me to be preparing for, so forth like that. And I ended up just making it through the process, and that just kind of came in. So it really came from relationships, having relationships, and then I just kind of matched the gas through the other end.
Okay, well, wow. Well, like you said, divine. It's always great to have connections like that, and
Right.
how things can come together with having connections like that. But I'm going to transfer this into more concerning your music just for a second, if you don't mind.
No, you are good. You are good.
So, with your music, what would you say has been your most successful song in terms of, let's say, the numbers and in terms of acclaim you've gotten?
Okay, and you said the last one you said in terms of a clean view.
No, in terms of numbers and acclaim, like critical acclaim.
Okay. I would as far as in all, I would say it will either be between Do Better and Influence. The reason why I say that, Do Better, that's the first song that's off of my first release EP. That was actually the first song that was like to reach a few thousand plays for me organically. That wasn't no money pumped into that. There wasn't no playlist and pumped into that. I wasn't even aware of, promotions that well when that song even released. So that was kind of that song that kind of opened a couple of doors for me as far as like people just saying, okay, this is a sound that I would want to know more about. And Influence kind of solidified a couple of different things for me. So it would definitely have to be between Influence and Do Better.
Right, because especially when I went to your YouTube page, Influence, it had more views or the music video for it had more views than all the other projects you have on your channel.
Yeah. And it actually makes sense because once I had a whole marketing run with Influence. I did a lot of in-person promoting. I was still in my semester during that time, but I had like a couple of events I was doing back to back that I was just pushing forward. I had a couple of people come out, so it was a lot of momentum put behind that one. So it makes sense because I still look at it like, yo, it's still going, But yeah.
Yes, sir. So because I've always liked seeing when people put their energy and their effort into their passion. Like obviously you have from how high quality most of, or really everything you do is. I love seeing it being successful. But with that being said, what do you think is the hardest part of song making in your opinion?
Of song making? Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's a whole bunch of things that come into it. So as far as it's like the creative process or as far as like the technicalities and like business and stuff?
It could be, let's go, that actually is going to go into my second form of questioning, but let's go into the business side.
Okay. So, the toughest part in that is, in my personal opinion, I would say, just having an infrastructure set in place so you can just kind of have a good funnel because, a lot of us don't realize the different things that you have to be aware of in order to truly, get the fruits of your labor for real. As far as it's like the promotions, how much, making sure you're having a budget so you can have consistent promotions, making sure that you're investing in the proper marketing materials that's not going to get you flagged, making sure that you're investing in the proper, studio equipment, the mixing that can get you a proper radio mix and not a mix that just sounds good in the speakers. It's like a lot of different things that comes into play with that. And like you can't do it by yourself. That's what I've had to learn while doing this. Like you can't do none of that stuff by yourself because at first it was just making music for me. It was just okay. We go to the studio, we turn up, we pipe. But now I'm thinking about I gotta own the beat. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about the beat. I'm thinking about making sure I ain't said what I already said before. I'm thinking about the song structure. I'm thinking about making sure it can relate to what I can do now. I'm thinking about the marketing behind it at the time I'm making it a song. I'm thinking about performing it. I'm thinking about performing as I'm recording, not just recording. So it just comes with, the growth of your journey. So at this time now, at my journey, it's a whole game plan that comes into song creating now. And that's just where I'm at.
Wow. I want to go ahead and say, even in comparison to a lot of the older guests that I've had on the show, the way that you were able to break that down because I love business, I love numbers, I love going into things that you can assess to improve. And the way that you broke that down was amongst the best that I've heard it.
I truly appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cause,
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, because that's the thing when it comes to especially young black men is that we may want the success, we may want to achieve certain things. People want the money or the security, but we have to understand we have to take care of the business first.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what and I'm still learning it, and that's what I had to actually, I had to learn the hard way at first because it got to a point where I'm like, for one, I want to make sure I'm understanding the language when I'm in these different rooms. I don't want to just be, just allowing certain words to go over my head, and I may be missing out on something. Also, I want to make sure that I'm able to sustain a living. We got bills. You know what I mean? We not only bills, it's different things that you got to make sure your back office is right. And I got placed into, a lot of different situations where I had got taken advantage of due to the fact of me not being aware of these certain things. So, it's kind of like, it was a blessing that it happened because it put me in a position to where I got to, really learn what was going on. And I'm able to learn, apply that to myself, and also apply that to my peers as well so they don't go down the same situation that I went down. But it's like a a punch in the chest too. It's a give and a take.
Yes, sir. All of this business talk has motivated me to just ask you this. If you don't mind, what are some of the different entrepreneurial endeavors for those who don't know that you are into? Essentially.
Okay. So currently, what I'm doing as far as with 2Benjii Entertainment, that's what my company that I created is. Well, what I'm doing right now, that's actually it's actually an entertainment service, but I haven't started the actual entertainment service yet. Right now, what I've started is basically the marketing part. So I do web designing. I create landing pages and funnel pages for up and coming businesses, and I also do small business marketing campaigns. Currently, what I'm doing marketing for is this media network by the name of R Black Media. Originally, it was called All Things Relevant, but it's transferred to R Black Media. It's housed out here in Savannah, Georgia. I also do marketing for Rainy Day Fund Enterprises. So I basically, we got a partnership to where, and that's a family-owned business as well. So the Rainy Day Fund Enterprises, that's a partnership. That they do business credit and so forth like that, for businesses and so forth to get funded. And what I do is create the landing pages and the funnel pages for the pages that come in there, and that's just what's bringing in, like, that's something tangible that I can show that's bringing in funds consistently right now. But as far as the different things that I'm still building the infrastructure, so when it comes out, I don't have to get nothing bit in the back. I'm also do artist development as well. I have artist packages. That's like a full promotional package. There's everything that you need to just make sure that you're starting off right. I get you included inside this program. And this is a program that I'm over as a nonprofit that I created. That's a part of Rainy Day Fund Enterprises as well. It's called Creating Creative Creatives. It's a 12-week program. It's a youth program as well. So it's just different creatives that come in there. And you ever heard of Class of 3000 with Andre 3000?
Yes. Actually, I did a biography on it for last month's Black History Month.
What? Oh, that's cool, man. Cool. Yeah, so that I basically kind of like got created like my own type of class of 3000, and that's what that program is. It's actually going to be launching in a few months. That's what I'm getting together now. But yeah, I do. That's basically what I do on that business side, man. I got a couple of different other things that I'm pretty smooth at, but as far as just like what I'm comfortably like specialize in, that creative development, the landing funding pages, the marketing, for sure. So that's what I've just been learning and really getting that business side together. So not just working with different artists, like I'm working with trucking companies, you know. Right now I'm managing an internship group as well, so I'm getting that leadership type experience as well that I can implement within myself. Because I have to learn, it can't just be me, you know, and it can't just be this one thing that I'm good at. I need to diversify the different things that I can bring to the table. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, I am in school for mass communications with a concentration in digital and multimedia. So I do have skill sets in videography as well. All the behind the scenes footage, the video footage, also some of those logos that you may see on my page or the videos that's put together with the audio. I edit all that. Like I edit all of that. The only stuff that I don't edit is my music videos. But everything else on there, that's what I do.
Wow. I just want to go ahead and give you kudos for you being involved in so many different things. Because even though I may not know as much as most people, especially within our age range when it comes to hip hop and rap history, but everything that you have explained to me, you sound like the second coming of someone like Percy Miller and Master P.
Wow. That's heavy, yo. I'm beyond grateful to even hear something like that.
Yes, sir. Like, that's what that sounds like. But if you don't mind me asking this, how has your upbringing and even your current environment inspired your entrepreneurial pursuits?
My upbringing has extremely inspired my entrepreneurial pursuit. The reason why, if I'm being honest, a lot of really entrepreneurship kind of runs in my family. You know, it kind of runs in my family as far as it's like in different sides of my family. So I was seeing certain things being done at an earlier age where I didn't fully understand what it was because I didn't get a chance to see that all the time. But I knew it was something different. You know, I knew like, okay, I know mama worked through this during this time. But when I come over here, they cooler. You know, they with their family, they chilling. Something's going on. But as I just continue to grow, I started working very young. Like I'm saying about 13, 14 years old. When I'm not even legal to work yet, I'm already working because I'm understanding I need to be able to provide for myself to get some of my own. I can't keep asking moms for it. So I'm already getting that work, you know, that work experience at an early age, and I'm working every day, daily. Working at a retirement home. Not only retirement home, I went to fast food as well. So I'm getting to see just like the behind the scenes at a young age. Now, you know, when you're young, you're able to see everything for really what it is, but you're just not calling it out. So I'm working at them places, and it really started as my transition to college. Once I transitioned to college, it was more of like a release from my past, which was in Atlanta, Georgia. And those different things that was going on during that time in high school, my transition through high school. So when I switched my environments from Atlanta to Savannah, Georgia to go to college, it just allowed me to be able to be more of me. You know, I just said, okay, this is kind of like a new slate. Not forgetting what had happened, but more so just like I don't have to worry about these different things no more. You in a new place. And that allowed me to be able to just, you know, adventure into different things that I just wanted to try out. And that started from attending different open mics. You know, the open mics started for me to just being able to rap more, you know, freestyle, do that stuff more, which led to me also getting a chance to be on the radio, which led me to being a part of the radio. Now, me being a part of the radio station changed my perspective on everything because I didn't just look at it like, yo, I can play my song on the radio. I looked at it like, yo, not only can I play my music on the radio, I can also offer a platform for me and my buddies. You know, we was always so focused on trying to get everybody that was up, but we not realizing we got all the resources that we need. So by me being on the radio station, providing a platform alongside my co-host as well, to give underground artists, a platform to express themselves, get some game, some music, that allowed us to be able to do different hosting gigs, different interview gigs, and we were getting paid from those. And I'm not understanding what I'm doing at that time. Like, you really created something. You created a product, and you were, you created a service, and that service was being paid for. That wasn't nothing that you had to go sign up to do. Like, you did that off of the brand that you all created, that you created, and it didn't really hit me until I left for school that semester break, and I just had to, reevaluate everything. And that's kind of like what sparked it. I also had different friends around too. I'm just like, man, I want to be able to do what I want to do. I don't want to keep freely giving my time up and building everybody else's stuff. You know what I mean? That was really what it was, man. It got to a point when I would walk in buildings and it feels like I'm walking into somebody else's passion. And that's when I knew stuff was getting real. So I just had to switch some stuff up, and I'm still building on it. I'm still working on it, but we making it happen with any way possible,
That is amazing. But one thing I would like to make sure I ask you is the word organization.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I've come into knowing from it, from the hip hop historian, Mr. King's side. But for those who don't know, for the listeners and watchers, what is your relationship with Word and some of the different members or most of the members concerning it?
Okay, so Word, which is Way of Real Discovery, that is the organization that honestly changed the trajectory of my career. Like, it honestly played a major part in my development as an actual creative. It also played a major part in my leadership as well. I served as the Word president for the school year 2020-2021, and as of right now, I'm a part of the alumni chapter, and I basically just offer different services to the students that's there now. So, which is going to the different workshops that they have, including some different services that I've been able to build so far, letting them get access to that and so forth like that. And still just tapping in, mentoring a couple of students that's in there as well. So yeah, Way Over Discovery, that is an amazing organization. I'm still connected with everybody that's in there. We all still connected. We all still inside of our group chats. We all still share our art with each other, share opportunities with each other. It's like a bond that was created, and it's like you forever a part of it. So yeah, I'm actually glad you asked about that. Word contributed a lot. Actually, I met Mr. Hip Hop historian Derek Brown as well.
Wow. Yes, because I know he's talked about you over the years a few times, and how much of an impression that he has left on you, and or that you have left on him, and that you left on other people. But one thing I wanted to make sure I ask you as well, you had a song released last year with one of the previous guests we've had on the show, Miss Smiley K, who I know is a person as well, called Marathon. Please, if you don't mind, please give a little bit of an explanation on how that all came together.
Yes, sir. Okay, so that's crazy that you asked that. So yeah, Marathon, that's actually a song that I'm featured in for the artist Smiley K. Originally that song was actually recorded in the year 2020, but it was different things that went down with the audio. We actually ended up losing the audio. The song was supposed to release a bit of a while ago, but something had happened with the files, and we ended up losing the files. So recently, we kind of just had reconnected, and she had reached out to me to say, hey, to kind of get that project back finished up. So she had ended up booking a new session. We had went through the process, recorded the track again, and we ended up getting a whole new videographer for everything. And this was actually a whole new process. You know, we had a director. We had to do meetings with the director. We had casting meetings, location scouting meetings and so forth like that. It was actually an exciting experience. We got to meet some cool people. You know, we got a lot of connections. Marathon was definitely what it looked like. It was definitely what it looked like. You know, I was just glad for her. That was actually her first music video as well. So I was actually very grateful to be a part of that. You know, that was it meant a lot to her. It meant a lot to her. So I wanted to make sure that I just played my part to the best of my capability.
Wow. Well, I will say, in my personal opinion, you all did an amazing job. So
Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Yes, sir. You are very, very welcome. But I would say this is my last regular question. Put that in pose. Out of everything you've done so far in your life, in your career, what has been, I would say, the most that you've been proud of?
The most I've been proud of, honestly, if I'm being honest, it's not even just one thing that kind of towers it all. It's really all of it, because this is something that I used to like write about in detention. You know, like this is something that I used to truly dream about doing. Like I was a major introvert growing up. You know, I was a major introvert growing up. I didn't really speak out as much. Not only did I not speak out as much, but I never truly felt like I was heard. So a lot of times I was just kind of that person where everybody just kind of thought I was always good, but you're not always good. You know what I mean? And that kind of sent me on a journey of just self. So I used to be with myself a lot, you know, and not only just being by myself a lot, but just like experiencing a lot of different things from a solo perspective. And that just brought me to, so when I just wake up and just see different things that I'm doing now, although I may not be where I would like to be yet, I've came an extremely long way. Like, it's to the point that like sometimes I randomly just cry. Like, seriously, because it's so much to be grateful for. There's so many people that's not only lost their life that I've known around me, but went through different things that I've been graceful enough to avoid. So many people that's gone, never got a chance to do anything, you know, and the fact that I'm still able to be doing something different, you know, and growing within myself. I feel good inside doing it. I'm able to sleep at night, you know what I mean? And I'm able to help other people bring their dream to a reality, you know, so I'm not just moving off the passion. That type of stuff is what keeps me, man. So I'm always proud. You know, I'm always proud. I'm always working on different things and wanting to grow different things. Of course, there's always things that can be better, but I always find time to be proud of, you know, different things that I do. You know, even if I was able to check one thing off the list, at least I was able to check that off the list. You know, I ain't going to be chasing satisfaction.
That was very well said. Very well said. But, you know, now that going into closing, is there anything you would like to say to the viewers, say to us, say to me, you would like to ask the viewers, ask us, or ask me?
Definitely. There's definitely, so it's something I would like to, ask you, and it's also something that I would like to tell the viewers. So first, what I would like to just tell everybody, I want to just make sure that each one of us is making sure that we are continuing to participate in, you know, peer-to-peer knowledge, continuing to aid one another, help one another, not bring one another down. It's pretty hard out here when you're trying to create different things and bring different things to life, and certain people kind of feel like you should already know this information, or if you should already know this, and if you don't, then that's a big problem. You know, and that kind of steers people away from actually wanting to do better. And I think we should actually celebrate people actually wanting to change and do better instead of downing it. So, that's just kind of like my phrase and my word of the day. Just making sure that we continue to aid one another, help one another, not be a burden and just giving value. You know what I mean? And as far as the question that I wanted to ask you, I wanted to know what truly makes you want to do these interviews? Like what's that spark behind these different things?
Well, I'm glad that you actually asked that, because I've also partially said it too in our 100 YouTube subscriber live stream I did yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, congratulations on that too. I actually seen that. Congratulations on that, for real, for real.
Thank you. It was a long time coming. Thank you. But to answer it here, I would basically say I wanted to give young and old and everything in between, young Black creators, businessmen, entrepreneurs, businesswomen, anything under the sun that people have interesting goals, lives, businesses, or anything. I wanted to give them a platform to essentially talk about it or talk about their lives, or basically help educate people. Because the biggest thing that a lot of Black people complain about is a lack of platforms. But so what I did, instead of just talking about it and complaining about it on social media like most people seem to do, I created it. I created that platform.
That is fire.
Yes, sir. Like I said, having people like you on is exactly why I created it in the first place. Someone who already has notoriety and already has a gift. Having you on here is an honor. I always had a vision where one day people would essentially grow their lives and grow their talents, and I would be there looking at them. Hey, this person I interviewed 5, 10, 20 years ago is now a millionaire. This person who I interviewed, the views or live streams back then may not show it, but this person went on to become a doctor, or this person went on to become a banker, or a great music producer. And I've like in live stream, I've gotten made fun of by different people all across my life doing it. But the biggest thing is that unless someone is in your business and helping you run it, they don't understand it.
Exactly. You just said a number with that.
Yes, sir. But thank you. But before I move on, do you have any last thing you would like to ask or say?
No, that pretty much kind of covered it.
Yes, sir. Before I close out, could you tell people your different social media, handles and different ads and different projects people may look forward to in the near future?
Of course. So everybody, you can keep up to date with me and follow me on all social media platforms underneath the handle 2Benjii. That'll be number 2, BENJII. As far as some different projects that you can be looking up for. Me and my team, which is called Soul Tribe, we have 2 different things that's going to be releasing starting next week. So that's going to be by mid-February. One of them is going to be called Freestyle Friday. Those episodes are going to be starting to be releasing every Sunday. We're going to kick those up in Savannah, Georgia at 912 Studios. Also, we have Soul Tribe Radio Show. That will be premiering on All Black Media Network. You can find that on basically any platform. You just type it up on Google. We should be, getting aired starting next week on Wednesdays, but you can find all that information underneath my handles at 2Benjii. I also wanted to appreciate you, Dr. Clark. I'm very grateful that you allowed me to be able to express this side of myself on your platform. I'm truly grateful for that, and I truly appreciate it. I love what you're doing, and I really can't wait to hear this. And I love to send it to some more people as well. I want to thank you again.
Yes, sir. You are very welcome. It was an honor. Like I said before, I've wanted to have you on the show for the past few years. It's just that had to time everything correctly, and now is the perfect time. So, with that being said, if that is all, thank you, Mr. 2Benjii, Mr. Chris Smith, for